Welcome to the Blender Goon. In this video, we are going to take the wagon we modeled and go ahead and get it unwrapped so that we can prepare it for baking. So to get started, I should probably explain what unwrapping is. So basically, we need to take our 3D object and lay it out on a 2D space so that we can add textures to it and bake it. In order to do that, we mark seams. So I'm going to start by going into solid view because it's just easier to see the themes, and we'll select our wheel here, and I'm going to kill our modifier. So go to your modifiers tab, which is the little wrench, and go ahead and kill that, and we'll have our wheel left over. So I'm going to go into edit mode with it by hitting tab, and edge select mode by hitting 2, and we just need to go ahead and mark seams on this. So I'm going to mark a seam on the backside by holding alt and sorry about that. Holding Alt and left clicking on one seam, Shift Alt and left clicking on another edge loop. And I think I'll separate this also. So uh, Shift Alt left click on that. And then we can right click and there's a mark seams here. And it's underlined with an M. So if you just hit M, it'll mark those. And if you deselect, you can see that they all turned red. We also need to mark a seam on the bottom here. This edge loop should be fine. And right click M. So now that we have our seams marked, we also want to make sure our scale is applied. So we can hit N and go back into object mode by hitting tab and go to item. And you can see that the location 0, the rotation 0, and the scale is all 0. So we don't need to apply our scale. If they are not, you can apply your scale by going up to the object apply, which is Control A, and you can do scale or all transforms. So Control A, all transforms will take care of your location, rotation, and scale. So let's hop back into edit mode with tab and hit A to select everything, and then U, and we can do an angle base, should be fine. And then we can pop into UV editing and see what happened. So as you can see, it laid all that stuff out, but our seams are very close together. So when you do your unwrap by hitting U, so put your mouse in this window and hit U and do the unwrap angle base again, you'll get the last operation panel. You can click it and you can actually set the margin. So I'm gonna hold shift and move this and you'll see the UV move away from everything. Um, and that should be good. I got a little space at the bottom because we have some overlap when we bake, and we don't want our overlap running into another UV island. These are called UV islands. Um, that's a UV island, and this will bake just fine, just the way it is. And as you can see, if you did the add-ons, you might have the last saved 8 minutes ago. So make sure you go ahead and save your file. So I'm going to hit Shift S. No, it's Control S. Control S to save that. And then if you move the object a little bit, you'll see that that disappears. So our wheel is unwrapped. So we're going to go ahead and hit Tab, and we'll select our wagon. And I have another hotkey that makes life a little easier. It's Control Space. Whatever window you have your mouse in, Control Space will make it full screen. So we need to mark seams on our wagon here. So I'll go into edit mode with tab and turn screen. Work when you change windows. And I'm just going to hold alt and I'm going to select one of these seams on each corner. Doesn't really matter which one. And shift alt and click another one. Shift alt and click another one. Alt and click another one. And what this will do is unwrap this thing. It'll fold these out anywhere I mark the seam. So right click and hit M to mark your seam. And back into object mode in and check your item to make sure everything's good. And it is zeroed out and 1. Back in edit mode, we can hit N to get rid of that. A to select everything, and U and angle base to be fine. Control space to get back out of this. And now you see we have our unwrap. It's a little crazy, but for beginner purposes, it's fine. We also need to do our handle. So tab to object mode, select the handle, tab back in edit mode, and I'm just gonna mark a seam on both of these right here. We actually don't need to. Let's just mark a seam on the bottom because we deleted the two faces. So if we select this one edge loop, we can right click and mark seams, and that'll fold this out and fold that out, and these two will just be laying flat and straight. So we can hit A. Um, like I said, tab to edit mode, in, check your item, and see everything's crazy on this one. So we'll just apply all transforms on it, Control A, all transforms, and that zeroes everything out. And now we can go back into edit mode, hit N to get rid of the panel, um, A to make sure you got everything selected, and U, unwrap angle base is fine, and got, and that'll be fine. And the last thing to unwrap is our cylinder at the end. So tab, select it, hit N to check it. It's also got some rotation and scale problems. So Control A, all transforms, that zeroes everything out. N to close the in panel. Um, I'm pretty sure this has a face on each side of that. So we can select our handle and hit H to hide it. And then reselect our grip and hit tab. 3 for face select mode. Select both sides. And X and delete the faces. And then probably on the bottom, back into edge select mode with 2. Select that one, right click, mark seams, A, U, unwrap. So now we have all our stuff unwrapped. We can go back into object mode by hitting tab, and Alt H will unhide our handle and anything else you have in the scene. And let's jump back into layout. We did not add a color to our handle, so I'm going to go into material hit N to get rid of that. Go into material preview. You can hit Z to go into material preview. There. Our handle is going to be black, so we can scroll to the bottom down here and choose, click new, um, select a base color, and we can scroll that down to black. And then we can adjust the metallic and the roughness. So I'm going to turn the metallic up and the roughness down. That looks fine. For the handle, we can, I don't know what color to make it. I guess we could just make it black also. So we'll just hit the drop down, and before I choose one, I'm going to select the handle and see which one. That's material 4, and you can name these by double clicking on them and call it handle. This one we'll call wagon. That other red one should be the button. The white is hubcap. We should call it hub. Then the other black is the tire. So it's good to name this stuff so you know what the heck you're looking at. And I'm actually going to select wagon and go into edit mode. And I have the wagon there, and I'm just going to hit select and make sure it lights it up. If it doesn't, that means you chose the wrong one, and you need to uh, flip them. We can actually remove these if we wanted to, and you remove materials by hitting minus. Oh, you have to be in object mode. Minus, so the wagon's good, and this one has the wagon texture on, so we can remove that also. This is just going to make things easier whenever we bake. So we got material handle there, so we'll go here and we'll just add also. Now we need to arrange our UVs. So what I like to do is go into UV editing, choose an object, and go into edit mode with it. And I like to just move them off the UV space. Back into edit object mode, select wagon, box select this, and move it off the UV space. Part, edit mode, space, and I tried not to lay them on top of each other. And last piece is that one. And you have to hit A to be able to bring it up over here, and we'll box like that, and we'll just move it way over here. Now, if you select everything in object mode, so tab to go in object mode, select everything and hit tab, they all light up, and you can hit control space in the window over here, and then we can move this stuff into the base, and I'll scale it down a little bit with S. This one, I'll scale it down a bunch. Probably could be scaled down a little bit too, just to give us. And I'm just hitting S and scaling this stuff. This guy, we're going to rotate it 90 degrees up here. And that should do. We're wasting a lot of UV space. So the more space you give something, the more uh, texture density you have. So our wagon's our main part. If we wanted to put words and stuff on the side of it, and we might do that later in another video, way later. You want maximum texture space. So if you can scale these up and get more texture space out of them, go ahead and do that. Like this guy, we can move it over here and scale it up and get more texture space. And you can arrange these islands however you want to arrange them uh, to give them more texture space. And I'm able to select these because I had this last UV mode selected. It's the islands. And now our UV's laid out and ready to be baked. So that's all I have for this video. It's pretty quick, and it'll take you guys a while to get used to doing this stuff. I like doing this stuff. But go ahead and like and subscribe to the video, and I'll see you in the next one where we bake this stuff.